AV Nation at Digital Science Expo 2018 in the BrightSign booth with Jeff Hastings. Good morning,
Jim.
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm doing great. Awesome start to the show. Lots of people in our booth.
Yeah, first day. You guys are pretty packed.
Oh yeah.
You guys announced this week the release and the availability of your latest firmware.
Yep, latest firmware.
Now, before we get down to most of the folks in the AV industry, when they hear firmware, they either run the other way because it breaks something in their control systems, or it's firmware. But you guys did some significant upgrades and gave your players some pretty cool features out of this firmware.
Yep. So a lot of people, run from firmware updates. Like, oh my God, it works, I don't want to change it. For us, we do a lot of work to make sure the firmware really is good. And also, we've been doing upgrades our whole life. So I think most of our customers have now become accustomed to like, hey, we can get this firmware, we'll do a quick little test, and it's going to be good to go.
Yeah.
So we've done that. But some of the new features are pretty exciting.
So we'll run through one or two.
The first one, and it's probably the biggest one, is we've always had video accurate frame playback, which means you can do video walls, every player's playing the same frame, but all of us know in the AV industry that unless the vertical retraces are all the same, they can be slightly out of sync.
Yeah.
So we added to our latest firmware is the ability to have all the players be actually gen locked. So literally all the vertical retraces are synced at the same time and playing the same frame, which gives you perfectly accurate video walls. So you can do LEDs, projectors. Projectors, when you get edge blending, if they're slightly off, you can see that. With Genlock, you can do projectors, LEDs, and of course, LCD.
Okay, so how are you accomplishing Genlocking over the network like that?
So, much like you take like some of the new network speakers, whether they're Amazon speakers or Sonos speakers, so you can have two of them and have a pair of them and have stereo sound.
Yeah.
Same technology, it's called PTP over the network, but it allows us to basically synchronize the players on the same time clock. We also built in that next layer to actually synchronize the clock, the video clocks going out, because typically what people do is the playback clock, where you're actually decoding it and then letting it go. Now we actually take that same signal and get all of the vertical refresh timing coming out at the same time.
Oh, wow.
So awesome, and now it makes this, kind of video wall capability much more expandable to a much better application.
Well, and not only that, but it's a better experience overall for the end user.
Oh,
obviously.
yeah, it's going to look better.
All right. Something else you guys came out with was not just 4K video, but also 4K graphics, the ability to reproduce.
So we've had 4K video playback for a long time, but we've always kept the video. I mean, the graphics plane that goes over the video at 1080p. Most of that was performance. So we did a bunch of performance improvements, and now you can actually do 4K graphics over the 4K video. So it's a complete 4K workflow now.
All right. Shifting gears a little bit, explain to me something you have here in the booth, something called BrightSign Inside.
BrightSign Inside, yes. So a lot of things that we're doing, we'd see a lot of people wanting to buy tablets, these little tiny computers to be able to use mostly as controllers.
Yeah.
So we looked at that market and realized that, most of these tablets are not very industrial grade. So people get them, they're built for consumers, they put them in industrial environment, commercial environment, they break. So we started actually working with a bunch of panel manufacturers and built a module that takes basically our HD player, crams it into about a 3-inch by 4-inch square, and allows them to build it into displays. And the main market is for small screens, and what we actually have here is 2 of the screens.
Okay.
So one of the unique applications that these different vendors do, so there's screen manufacturers that do value add on top of them. So this screen manufacturer can put LED lights on here. So I can use this now for a room booking system. It's now green. I could go reserve now. It goes back to the booking system. It's going to reserve the room.
And the booking system is your system.
It be our system or any system. Okay. This is just kind of software running on top of this system. Now it's booked. Now it's red. So if you walk in to go to the conference room, that room's taken.
Okay.
So really nice, and we're basically getting more and more manufacturers are starting to use this built-in module because you get kind of all the capabilities of BrightSign, great development environment, lots of connectivity to the CMS systems, and now you can actually get it built into the screen, mostly for the smaller screen market.
Okay. All right. Do you see a time when you get into the bigger screens where they can use that as playback or video wall capabilities?
There's some of the manufacturers that are doing that. I mean, it would work today, but it's really just a matter of volume.
All right, very good. Another thing that I just want to highlight this just from an industry standpoint. We're recording this the end of March.
Yep.
About 90 days ago.
Yep.
You made a significant hire
Oh yes.
Who was that, and why is that important?
So we hired Frank Pisano from Milestone.
Yeah.
Totally industry veteran. He knows the channel incredibly well. I really need someone to run the Americas sales. Spent a bunch of time with Frank. Literally had lots of discussions over a whole year. And at the end of it, all of 2017, we talked and finally decided, you know what, this would be good for him, good for us. It's been an awesome hire. He's a great addition to the team. He's taken the whole American sales team, pulled them together, really driving them, increasing the awareness in the channel. So it was a great hire. It's an awesome addition to our team.
Yeah, from a personal side, I've known Frank for years. Very happy for him, and very happy for you guys.
Awesome.
So, if somebody wants to get a hold of BrightSign product or just BrightSign in general, how do they do that?
www.brightsign.biz.
All right. Jeff Hastings from BrightSign. My name is Tim Albright. For more information about us, you can find us at avnation.tv. avnation.tv.